Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. So today we're going to be talking about new Chaos lore with the brand new Chaos Space Marine Codex. A big shout out to a chap called Matt Austin who was able to inform me of this over on Twitter, and also the chap who actually wrote this up called V-Ray40 over on Reddit. If you want to check out this entire post, then I'll include the link to it in the description of this video. Anyway, let's jump in and let's talk about this awesome lore. So the first point we have here, it says that Chaos Space Marines experience mutations that actually reflect their nature in the setting. For example, a Marine that is obsessed with death basically actually has mutations of skulls that appear on him. No surprise here, but apparently things have really fallen apart in the Imperium Nifilus. If you don't know what that is, that's basically the other side of the Great Rift where the Imperium just can't navigate, it can't do anything, and of course Chaos has jumped on that and they're taking all the worlds, they're raiding, they're killing, they're murdering. It's doing things that Chaos are doing, and they're really having no resistance against it. It goes on to say that many of the human holdouts have actually declared independence from the Imperium by convenience and necessity, and they've also become easy prey because of this. Now, there's a large multitude of petty dominions ruled over by various Chaos Space Marine lords, and they've begun turning the industrial capacity and output much of the Imperium Nifilus to the war efforts of the forces of Chaos. Some ex-Imperial worlds actually think they're serving loyalist forces, one world in particular believing that the Emperor himself came to rule over them directly, but we all know that this is a lie. Amadon is also using this to his advantage because apparently he's empire building on the dark side of the rift. It goes to say that with many worlds seemingly owing him fealty now, there's no mention of the explicit territory he controls. It's all vague. So he does control territory over there, but he doesn't state which parts he does control. Most demon engines are made by warpsmiths and the Dark Mechanicum at Soul Forges. It's speculated that Chaos Space Marine forces might collapse entirely if they didn't have the support of the Dark Mechanicum. The arrival of Chaos Space Marine invaders on many worlds is often enough to trigger otherwise secretive Chaos cults to drop all pretense of loyalty and rise up in direct conflict against the Imperials. This next sector is all about the Black Legion, and apparently the Black Legion is greater in size than any other traitor force, even any other traitor legions. They're large enough to coordinate galaxy-wide campaigns of conflict, attacking several worlds across the breadth of the Imperium in sync. Many sons of Horus are still alive today from the Horus heresy, but apparently their memories have become warped over 10 millennia, as with many surviving veterans, the enhanced recall of Astartes can't perfectly withstand the degradation of 10k years, as well as the lies and corruption expected with Chaos that have tainted their memories. A lot of the former sons of Horus in particular have been twisted with bitterness from the Horus heresy and subsequent struggle for survival against not just the Imperium, but their fellow traitor legions that turned on them. The Black Legion is made up of many ex-sons of Horus, as well as other former Legion members, and dozens of renegade chapters. The only requirement for membership is for the warriors to bow before Amadon and pledge their loyalty. That is it. They don't have to bring the head of Calgar or anything like that. Basically, if you swear yourself to Amadon, you are in the Black Legion. Speaking of Amadon, Amadon carries the blessing of all four Chaos Gods, but he's never become their pawn like many other champions. Due to the Black Legion's diverse and flexible forces, their wide range of skills and experience can help them win campaigns that would take other legions and warbands twice the numbers to complete. Black Legion warbands are very well armed and supported with plenty of naval vessels, demon engines, cultist hordes. Because they're so well armed, the warbands rarely have to rely on alliances with other warbands to accomplish their raids and campaigns. And there's a constant struggle of infighting in the Black Legion as lords all compete, but everyone must always answer Amadon's call. One of Amadon's most loyal lords is Harken Worldclaimer. Every time he makes planetfall for a new conquest, he plunges his demon spear into the earth and vows that the world will fall in 80 days. And apparently, he's never been wrong. The events that happened on Pandarax, Fenris, the planet of the sorcerers, and other places around the Gathering Storm were all part of the grand design that culminated in the destruction of Cadia and the opening of the Cicatrix Maledictum. What this technically means is that every Black Crusade that Amadon did, it actually did meet its goal. I know a lot of us, myself included, took the mickey out of Amadon, saying, oh, another Black Crusade, how many does he need? He's not doing anything. But every Black Crusade that he has been doing has been actually wearing away at like the Blackstone stuff that kept the warp in place. And because he achieved these goals, this is what allowed it to split and rip the galaxy in half. So, you know, Amadon did achieve his objectives. Amadon's current strategy now is something called the Crimson Path, which is a deliberate effort to sow as much death and destruction as possible on as many planets as they can do quickly in order to summon demon armies to help continue pushing deeper into the heart of the Imperium. He's willing to make an immense sacrifices to accomplish this, apparently. This campaign also seems to be expanding and strengthening the Cicatrix Maledictum. Dozens of renegade warbands are pouring out of the warp rift known as the Maelstrom and attacking the Segmentum Solar. We have some more information about Primarchs, which I like. It says Lorgar is still referred to as a Daemon Primarch, and Perturabo is also referred to as a Daemon Primarch, which should put some debates to rest, because during the Horus Heresy arc, there's been a lot of debate that Perturabo will actually become a Daemon Primarch. Maybe they get a wreck on that, because the way he looked at his brothers in disgust on how Daemon Primarchs basically are just weak, and he would never be weak like them. So apparently he is weak like them because he is a Daemon Primarch. Talking of Iron Losers, the Iron Warriors have claimed territory, apparently, in the Imperium Nihilus. And from that, they're churning out vast armies. There is no mention of the Iron Cage, it says here, which I've always said is just basically chaos propaganda. The Iron Warriors have lots of pacts with the Dark Mechanicum, as well as Traitor Titan Legions and Night Houses of Chaos. We have a massive blurb dedicated to the Alpha Legion. The Alpha Legion has the most extensive influence among the Traitor Legions, with assets operating secretly upon hundreds of worlds, with vast spy networks and agents without number. They have unparalleled connection with the reliance on humans inside of the Imperium. The Alpha Legion's methods of warfare are described as highly coordinated, efficient, and surgical, but their greatest flaw is their ego and pride. They are known to launch strikes and raids from secret bases all across the Imperium, often under the veil of disguise like a merchant fleet. The Alpha Legion will even use Xenos forces for their schemes and assaults. The Alpha Legions place a great deal of trust and reliance upon subordinate commanders and their leaders, and champions will often disguise themselves as other members of the warband or disappear from operations in order to observe and test their forces' operational effectiveness. Next up is some stuff dedicated to the Emperor's children, which seems very, very exciting. There's still no mention of the Emperor's children turning civilians on Terra into drugs during the siege. That is one of the plot points from the Siege of Terra series. Go read it, it's actually kind of funny. Every piece of the gear of the Emperor's children have or use has to be extravagant somehow in their warp minds. Curiously, the Imperium seems most mystified about Fulgrim's current status and his location. There has been hints in like I think it was the Gathering Storm books that there was like a snake-like figure just absolutely butchering like commando squads and stuff like that the Imperium sent down to a planet. There's lots of contradicting information and rumors about him, and the Inquisition has a large task force assigned to finding and hunting him. Fulgrim's pleasure planet is also considered a sort of mythical hidden place by many Emperor's Children Marines who go on journeys to find it and enjoy eternal pleasures. Lucius takes great pleasure from being killed as much as he takes pleasure from killing great foes. Fabius Bile has sold his services to several Daemon Primarchs. He doesn't practice favoritism with his contracts though, not even with Fulgrim. And apparently Fabius Bile has captured and seems to be experimenting on Primaris Marines and Legio Custodes. Bile technically controls several different warbands worth of traitor Marines. It's also to note that Bile has also created a new race called the New Men, which are basically his take on an evolved humanity, which are faster, stronger. They can actually hunt down and kill Space Marines, which is something absolutely bizarre and scary all in the same place. Next up, we have the Red Corsairs, and it says here, the Red Corsairs effectively control a pirate empire in the Maelstrom with a naval force capable of taking on larger Imperial naval flotillas. The Red Corsairs have a major base in the Imperium Nihilus called Tyrant's Gate, a populated world of towering cities with numerous orbital docks. Tyrant's Gate sounds like a sort of pirate free port for Chaos renegades. Huron Blackheart has some sort of strange familiar thing that follows him around in the shadows. It's speculated to be some sort of demon that grants him powers. Huron is also seen in two different segmentums at once somehow, and it basically says here, anyway, he's a rich pirate king, which perfectly sums up Huron Blackheart. The Red Corsairs still have a Blackstone fortress that was gifted to them. The Red Corsairs have swelled in numbers with renegades from dozens of chapters, but their tactics primarily focus on raids or surgical strikes, not great battles. It seems we have new lore around the Marines Errant called the Fall of Villamus. Villamus was the fortress monastery of the Marines Errant Space Marine chapter. The Marines Errant were one of the chapters that attacked the renegades during the Badab War. The Red Corsairs launched a daring raid on Villamus and ultimately got away with their entire gene seed store of the Marines Errant, dooming the chapter. So it looks like, you know, Huron, the Red Corsairs, and everyone who joined him got revenge on the Marines Errant and have basically wiped out that chapter because they have no more gene seed now to put into new recruits. And right at the end, we have a little blurb dedicated to none other than Cypher himself. This is for all you Dark Angel fans. It says Cypher's presence ignites hatred and mistrust in those around him, apparently. Inquisitors are aware of this mysterious gunslinger, and Chaos Lords are confounded by how he just slips in and out of their fortresses and inserts himself into their plots and plans. Of course, the Dark Angels are never far behind when he shows up. And there we go. That is the write-up. Again, if you want to go and check out the Reddit thread, please go and do so. Go and give this chap a like, a thumbs up, some awards, whatever, like how it works on Reddit. I'm not too sure. Thank you for coming. Thank you for watching this video. If you've got any thoughts, feedback, anything like that, post it down below and we can have a nice little talk down there as we always do. See you now. Have a great day and bye-bye.